Hello, everyone. Thank you so much for joining us in another interview today. This time we have Jarib from HorusPay. First, please give a brief introduction to yourself.
So my name is Jarib Figueredo, founder of HorusPay.
And my name is Xueyuan Shi from EOS WTZ.
Hi, my name is Jialin Li. I'm from EOS WTZ.
Okay, so yeah, let's get this interview started. Jialin, do you want to start with some questions?
Yeah, so first, Jerry, could you give a little bit introduction about yourself and also your project?
Absolutely. I'm a certified payroll specialist in the United States and Argentina. I've been a global payroll specialist for almost 8 years, and then during my time on my career, I discovered there are a lot of things that are broken on the global payroll process, and then HorsePay is my mission to fix those broken pieces in the global payroll industry. So, in a nutshell, HorsePay is a platform that allows clients to exchange encrypted payroll data with international payroll vendors directly without the need of a middleman. HorsePay also allows employees to be paid in cryptocurrency, and it also allows employees to do remittance to their family members using cryptocurrencies to as many wallets as they choose to, and they can set the percentage that they would like to go to those wallets. So HorsePay allows the entire window of the payroll process to be reduced because now it used to take 4 to 5 business days for international transactions, depending on what country you're sending transactions to. Now it only takes 30 seconds. So we're reducing that to as long as it takes for us to stamp the transaction on the EOS blockchain.
Yeah, so I think you just mentioned a few of like a pain point about international payrolls. So you mentioned about this takes a longer time. There's like a middleman, like a charge, surcharge, or fees. Is there any other pain point that you realize you want to fix by this project?
Absolutely. So in order to talk a little bit about the pain points, I'm going to talk a little bit about how the current process is for international companies. So let's say that you're an international company with 2,000 employees worldwide in 20 different countries. When you're going to process payroll to those 20 different countries, you have two options. So option number one, you go in each country and you find a vendor that will process the payroll for you, and then you communicate directly with that vendor. But what end up happening is for headquarters or for you as a payroll specialist, you're processing payroll for 20 different countries using 20 different sourcewords. So you will need to learn all those forms of transmitting data to all those vendors, and it could get very confusing. So that's a challenge. And for those payroll companies in country that do not have a very secure portal to exchange communication, you could be breaking legislation laws on those countries because you're not you should not be sending in crypto payroll data outside of a secure environment. So so that's option number one. So option number two would be for you as a company to go to a global payroll provider, and then the global payroll provider, what they do is that they say, yes, I'll process payroll for your 20 different countries and then your total headcounts. But they go and they hire those vendors separately, so they charge a markup on top of what the vendor charge, and then that markup could run from 40 to 80%. So it's a big markup. So HorsePay will be fixing that. But so to talk in more details about what this global payroll provider does, so they get in the middle between you and the vendor and that in-country vendor that processes the payroll for you. Not only they triangulate data, but they also triangulate communications because they don't want you talking to their vendors directly because they're afraid of you going outside of um, of the process in any way. So in order for them to maintain control, they also require for you to communicate to them. So that triangulates also communications that lead to errors in payroll. So it's very painful for global payroll specialists like myself that process more than 8 countries internationally, because then I need to be communicating with this middleman that is relying information that is not accurate to the payroll vendors, and that leads to mistakes. So with HorusPay is a global payroll platform that allows you to bring your own vendors, the vendors that you're working with, that you have a relationship. You can bring it to this software that it'll allow you to exchange data encrypted and securely with all those 20 different countries in only one software. So now, if I'm a global payroll specialist, now I'm able to do more work and process for more countries because I'm only utilizing one software, and it allows me to streamline my processes. So the reduce in costs is dramatically from it could reduce up to 80% in cost. It is more efficient. You could establish those relationship with the vendors, and then you're not you don't have a middleman in between. So that, those relationship, they usually drive results. um, so what other questions do you have regarding what I explained?
I think still on this question, I think one more pay point for the current international payroll is actually you have to, as a payroll specialist, you have to deal with different jurisdictions, which means they have different law or like a regulation about the payrolls. So probably by using HorusPay, there's like some benefit. It can handle with it can directly handle with register. So like the regulator directly, so you don't have to do all the like works.
Correct. Yes, the payroll vendors in country will take ownership of, because they know the law better than anybody else. So it is impossible for us to understand and know every single law in that country, because especially if we're processing for multiple countries. So they're understand and know the law, and they will be able to guide you through the process. And then with us eliminating the middleman, we're going to have a more efficient communication with the vendor, where they can tell us when things are happening in real time. As Congress is meeting, we're going to pass this law and this is happening, and then it'll be a better, more improved communication system.
Yeah, I think we know that why there's some pain point in international payroll and how HorusPay gonna fix it. And my question is, why do you think a blockchain have to be involved in this process? Why block?
That's a great question. So blockchain allows me to take a database and secure it with blockchain. And now I'm competing in security with companies that they're $60 billion market cap companies that have millions of dollars in security. Now I'm able to compete on the same field and have a better security that they have, because they do get hacked because their servers are centralized and they're not protected by the blockchain. So a hacker would need to break into a decentralized database and also decrypted, and is way harder for them to do so with our model than it will be with another company that is outside of blockchain. And then the other good reason is because all the steps of the process of payroll will be stamped on the blockchain, and it will be auditable. So it will eliminate those disputes in between vendors and clients that the middleman will take will be the judge in between in judging whether the client send data on time or not. Now we're taking that responsibility away, and then that will be on the blockchain now. So you'll be able to see when files were sent, when the vendor sent the files back for payroll, and if anybody missed a deadline, it will be on that audible ledger that is impossible to change.
I can see maybe in summary two reasons. Uh, one is more secure, and the other one is more efficient.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes.
So yeah, I think we have already talked about enough project about the project and also the blockchain. So how about your team? So you have been talking about your experience. So how about your team's experience, especially in payrolls and also the blockchain? Could you give an introduction about them?
Yes. So we have other payroll specialists on the team that I'm not allowed to disclose because they're working for my future competitors. But I'm not the only payroll specialist. But we have a team of 8. We have 2 embedded in software engineers. Um, Jack Di Salvatore he's an EOS software developer. He's been playing with EOS since January, and Jag is the person assigned for all blockchain related. He's fluent in C++, and he's also collaborating with EOS authority. So I was very happy to find Jag. He's very prepared and knows and interprets. He can interpret the contracts. He can do integrations with different applications, and then he's a very good asset. So I also have on my team Gunnar. Gunnar is PhD candidate for electrical engineer. Gunnar is going to be he's going to be in charge of our time and attendance system. That's a project that we have on the pipeline, but is later on, where we'll have clocks that will be communicating through the blockchain. We'll be sending data for time data through the blockchain. So Gunnar will be the person to program those. We also have Joe Jordan. Joe Jordan have previous experience in blockchain. He's fluent in Solidity. He's coming from strong Ethereum background, and then he's transitioning into EOS. EOS is new to all of us. Joe Jordan is our co-founder and CTO. So he's very well seasoned on blockchain as well. So Scott is full stack engineer, and he's our backend developer and also our front end. And then for front end, I have Jesse. Jesse is a very well seasoned front end engineer with more than 12 years of experience, and working for some big companies like Sony. So Jesse is really good on details and making a front UI experience that makes sense. So with my experience and the other payroll specialists on my team, we're giving Jesse really good feedback to make our software even better than our competitors. So we also have an attorney in our team, and then Sasha is one of the leading attorneys in United States, fighting for rights for blockchain companies. She's part of a coalition in Wyoming, and because of them and the coalition, I was able to register my company in United States and not be seen as a security, because Wyoming passed laws that allows my project to be seen as an utility. So it's great to have her in our team, especially for the type of business that we're in. And then we have also Blue Jays from EOS Go. as our head of the head of the community. Blue Jay is helping me grow my community and take it to the next level.
So now we are going to talk about the tokens. So how does the economic of the system, this token works? And if a HorusPay token present number of employees, so that's my understanding. And so does the company must hold those tokens, and how will those payments be sent then?
Yes, that's a great question. So the horse token, the token that we airdrop, represents an employee in the company, but it also has a representation on an X amount of data that your company will have per employee on the system. So it's a way to quantify the data that you're allocated as a company, because there's a strong relationship between your total headcount with the amount of data usage that you will have. The higher your headcount is, the more data you're going to use in payroll, because you're going to be sending more and more information. So the horse token is an access token that allows your company to access the payroll system and access an X amount of data to exchange data with those payroll vendors. But this token is also stakeable. When you stake the token, not only you get data, but you also get another token that is called Horus Dollar. Horus Dollar is a token that will allow you to pay other your payroll vendors around the world, but you could also pay your employees with Horus Dollars. So this is the token that we're planning to use, that to help you pay for your payroll services, and to help you pay for disbursement payrolls to the employees.
Yeah, I think my last question actually. So I think on June 30th you did the airdrop, and could you talk about a little bit about the airdrop?
Yes. So the airdrop is, or total circulation is 1,200 million, where 900 million were airdrop on June 30 at a 1-to-1 ratio. So there was no requirement on the airdrop. If you were holding EOS at the time that the ERC20 token for EOS was frozen and we were launching net, and that snapshot was taken, the Genesis snapshot, you received or Horus token at a 1-to-1 ratio. So we're using the Genesis. We use on June 30. We use the Genesis snapshot to allocate balances.
Have those token be allocated already, or?
Yes, the airdrop happened on June 30, and the tokens were allocated. We did the airdrop. It was an automatic airdrop, no registration required. We just used the Genesis snapshot to do the token allocation.
Gotcha. Xuan, did you receive the airdrop? Because I'm using mToken wallet and I didn't see any airdrop received from my wallet.
No, I didn't see any. So which wallet would we see it you know?
So Simpleos, Greymass, Simpleos is supporting us. Greymass is supporting us. You should be able to see it on EOS Spark, and also if you use an EOS tracker, you should be able to see it if you put your account name. We also have a tool that allows you to, when you put your account name, allows you to see all the airdrops that you're receiving, and then the expected balances and the balances that you received. So we built this tool so our community could go in and see if they receive Horus. But since we were building this tool, we thought, hey, let's just add all the rest of the airdrops on the tool, so it's not only good for us, also it serve a purpose for the community.
I think maybe mToken wallet doesn't support this, but I think there could be some way, as you just mentioned, to to find it back. I think we can just figure out offline and then maybe post like a tutorial how to do that.
Yes. So I will take after the interview, I'll take I'll contact them and see if there's a way for them to support us.
Yeah,
It doesn't really take much. They will only need or account information and or token symbol for them to be able to view the balances and
that's
make.
all. Yeah, that's awesome. I will represent our audience to thank you, because I think a lot of audience are actually using M token wallet to hold their yields back to that time.
Absolutely.
Yeah. So that's all the questions so far for me. So Xuan, do you want to continue with your questions?
Oh yes, yeah, I have a few questions. So first, we know that all transactions on EOS is public. So does companies using HorusPay uh, have the ability to make payment in private?
So far, no. So far, our transactions will be public. The only thing is that employees don't need to disclose their account name or their public key to other employees. Um, so as far as I keep that account name and public key confidential for themselves, and they don't disclose it with other peers will not be able to see what their earnings. Most likely this tool or HorsePay will be used only for a portion of the amount in fiat, because employees will want to still receive an X amount of fiat on their wallets because it's more spendable and more accessible at this time. I'm sure that we'll probably going to push to change the future, but it'll be hard for other people to calculate your pay rate, because you will only be allocating an X amount on that wallet, not your full earnings.
So next question is, are there any plans to list on exchanges?
Yes, I've been working very hard to get our token listed. The changes are having a difficult time, because EOS is very new, and not all of the changes have the resources to have a C++ developer to map those wallets, or they were not prepared on time. So they're giving me deadlines for 60 days in some cases. So we have confirmation from one exchange. I'm not able to release the details yet, because I will let them do the communication, but that should be coming in the next couple of weeks. Communication from this exchange is a global exchange, so we're very excited to be listed there. And we're also working in our in a Bancor protocol that will allow us to have capabilities and liquidity and be independent and not dependent on any exchange listing. So we're very excited to be working on that, and some of those details is still we're still polishing what we're doing with Banker. So we're going to have an amendment to our white paper to include this new model for Bancor and the liquidity of Banker.
So for the banker, it will be something like, the RAM trading is all on EOS, like on trading on chain, right? Like
Yeah, so Bancor doesn't limit you to RAM or to a specific. Bancor is actually it allows you to execute a smart contract, so you could exchange not only for RAM, but you could exchange one token for another. If you have a back account that is supporting that exchange in the background initially, and then those funds will grow over time, so depending on the volume. So in other words, Bancor will allow us to exchange one token for another one, and then it will also allow us to create a new marketplace for the data that we're going to be selling to our platform, for our platform. So there will be a market. There will be an X amount of data that is allocated to the token, but there will be also another X amount of data that is allocated to this market where people could go and buy additional data for or payroll platform.
Yeah, we've been always hearing about this innovation, the banker algorithm, like how it's gonna change token trading, and yeah, it's definitely good to see you guys trying to implement that. So my next question is are there any famous VCs interested in investing in you?
So there are, but I'm the one funding the project, and I don't want to sell anything from my company too early on. I want to prove as much as I can, and bring as much value as I can before I reach out for extra help. So so far we're doing good, and then I don't want um, to sell to any VC yet.
Okay, it's good to hear you are doing good financially. So yeah, my last question is that uh, what's the project timeline? What is the next step?
So we're currently working on our beta for the payroll platform, and we should have beta in around 60 days. It could be maybe a little sooner or a little later than that. It's hard to put a, a fixed date on the beta, but that's the next step is to release the beta and showcase the potential of the platform, and start onboarding beta testers, companies that are willing to test the technology with us.
So have you already reached out to some companies that are willing to test the beta?
Yes, I have a couple companies that I'm not going to disclose at this point, but they're blockchain companies that understand our technology, what we're trying to accomplish, and they're also suffering with the middleman, and they understand the value that we're bringing. So they're very excited in testing the beta portal.
That's yeah, that's good to hear. So that's about all the questions I have. And we are already doing like 30 minutes or something. So we better wrap this up. Um, Jialing, do you
Actually,
have
I have
anything?
yeah, actually, I have a last question that I just think of. So why do you choose the EOS to have your token running on EOS? Why EOS?
The EOS because of no gas, and then transaction speed. If in the future, if we're making the payroll disbursement for 5,000 employees, we want to make it in 30 seconds. We don't want to wait hours and hours. So yes, those are the main reasons.
Yep. So I think yeah, that's all the questions we have actually. Anything else that you want to mention, like anything to our Chinese audience or to the global audience? Because it's not only gonna post on our Chinese channel, it's also gonna post on YouTube as well.
Absolutely. Please come and visit our community. We want to grow our community in China, and if you have questions, please stop by and ask the questions. And then that's my message, that we're very passionate about growing the community, and not only in China but also internationally. So I understand that payroll is very difficult, but I'm always um, keeping an eye on for those questions, and I'm very willing to answer any questions. So please reach out to us if you have questions about or what we're trying to accomplish and what we're our mission. And if you want to challenge us, bring it on.
Yeah, I think the best way to reach out actually is the Telegram channel. I think it's pretty active. So just join it. I think Jarib itself is actually in that Telegram. So I think any post you can see and you can respond.
Yes, absolutely. I'm always there. If you have a question, please stop by our Telegram channel. I will answer them as soon as I can.
All right, sounds good.
Awesome.
So yeah, thank you, Jarib, again for joining us in this interview. We definitely hope to see more from HorusPay in the future. Thank you.
You're very welcome. Thank you for having me.
Yeah, our pleasure to have you. Yeah.
Bye. Thank you. Bye.